San Diego's mayor will soon enter intensive therapy after admitting he needs help, just 2 days after several more women came forward claiming he sexually harassed them. While here on the East Coast, former Congressman Anthony Weiner continues to defend himself from the sexting scandal as he faces new calls to drop out of the New York City mayoral race. Michelle Franzen is here with all that for us. Michelle, good morning.
Well, good morning. It's been a week of apologies for both of these politicians on opposite coasts, but saying I'm sorry hasn't made the accusations of wrongdoing go away. In San Diego, Bob Filner is accused by at least 7 former female employees and colleagues of sexual harassment. Now, when those allegations surfaced 2 weeks ago, the 70-year-old apologized for being disrespectful and said he was innocent. Yesterday, though, after pressure from the Democratic community to resign, Filner quickly announced he would begin a 2-week intensive therapy program to take responsibility for what he described as inexcusable conduct. But Filner is not resigning, instead saying he plans to run the city's business by listening to daily briefings. Now, back here in New York, a new sexting scandal involving Anthony Weiner is taking its toll on the mayoral candidate in the polls. Now, in June, Weiner was leading the primary race. Now, since that scandal broke, and despite Weiner's apologies and the support of his wife, Huma, his numbers seem to be in free fall. And the chorus for Weiner to drop out of the race is growing louder each day, with voters confronting him at campaign events and women's groups and lawmakers also calling for him to drop out of that primary race. Now, the timing of this scandal, this latest scandal, is one of the main factors. Weiner, who was forced to resign from Congress in 2011, admitted to sending these latest texts after he left office. And there is just over a month left of this campaign. And the question remains whether voters are willing to give him another chance. Lester, Erica.
All right, Michelle Franzen, thanks very much.
Steve Adubato is a media analyst and author of the book You Are the Brand. Dr. Gail Saltz is a psychiatrist and associate professor at New York Presbyterian Hospital. Both of you with us this morning to take a closer look at what's actually going on here. Gail, I think the question that most people have is why? Is it ego? What is it that drives these men to do this and then to continue doing it?
These are particular men. We can't say all politicians, but people who are in leadership positions get a certain, first of all, they are often risk takers. They're often impulsive people, and they're charming, and they make it work for them, and that's how they get this position in the first place. But then it's very seductive being in that position, and it's easy to abuse your power and take advantage of people who imbue you with all kinds of fantastic traits that you don't actually have. And you're fed by the people around you saying everything you do is wonderful, fantastic. Their jobs depend on you. So they sort of feed into this. And it becomes kind of, what we call acquired narcissism. You might not have started out that narcissistic to begin with, but over time, you acquire this sort of grandiose view of yourself to take advantage.
But Steve, does it make you politically tone deaf? I mean, in the case of Anthony Weiner, he apparently continues this behavior that got him in trouble in the first place, yet makes the decision that I'm going to put myself out there and run for mayor. In San Diego, you have a mayor now who has been accused of sexual harassment and says, in 2 weeks, I'm going to go back on the job. Are they politically tone deaf?
Well, so I call it the Bill Clinton syndrome, meaning these guys think that because Bill Clinton experienced what he did in terms of the indiscretions, the multiple indiscretions, they think because he came back politically, because he is seen politically as this incredibly powerful, charismatic brand, that they have what he has. They don't have anything like what Bill Clinton had. They don't have the charisma. They don't connect with people the way he does. So they think, if Clinton did it, I can do it. If Mark Sanford can be thrown out as governor but then run for Congress, I can do it. What they don't understand is that their individual brand of, let's say, the problems they have are so unique, are so weird, are so sick to some people. Obviously, the Weiner situation, it's just people can't even get their hands around it. Like, what exactly is this? And
they would understand an affair more than they would.
Look, Mark Sanford, apparently, without getting into detail, was in love with another woman. People can relate to that. They don't get the Weiner thing. Most people, 21-year-old, 22-year-old, told you love her, you don't really know her, back and forth, sending pictures yourself. They don't get that. And then he doesn't tell the whole truth. And the whole thing about the mayor of San Diego puts the spokesperson in a headlock, multiple women. What is that? And then I'm going to go for 2 weeks of therapy, but I'll be fine.
Okay.
That's a PR move. That's not even real.
that isn't real. I mean, you know, 2 weeks could be a beginning, a kickstart. And it's important to know that doing something as a maneuver and not really being engaged in a real treatment with real professionals who know what they're doing really won't accomplish anything.
That's a stunt.
There are some people who go into treatment and really with real professionals and still don't necessarily get better. So it's not a magic wand. You have to really engage. And 2 weeks is a drop in the bucket, guys. I mean, really, when you're talking about an ongoing compulsive behavior that you really have not been able to control at all, you need a long time.
And they drag other people into this. The thing that bothers me is, like, Weiner's wife made the decision to do this. I respect her for that, and she's going to be hurt by it. Her brand, which was powerful before this and strong, it will be hurt. It's also going to hurt Hillary Clinton because Weiner's wife is close to her. It's going to hurt the Clinton brand. Once it begins to hurt other people, that is why Anthony Weiner won't survive this, because now other people are going to be pulled into this. It's incredibly narcissistic.
We could talk about it all day, but unfortunately we don't have time. But it's a conversation I'm sure will be continuing for a lot of people.
Steve and Gail, thanks very much. Good to have you both here. Good to be